This video is about velocity and acceleration vectors. So as an example, this is just a two-dimensional example to keep it a little simpler. We have the vector function x equals cosine t and y equals sine t. And here's the graph of it. At t equals 0, cosine of 0 is 1, sine of 0 is 0. So we have the point 1, 0 right there, and so on. And the particle is moving in a counterclockwise direction. Now, the first derivative would be the velocity. So r prime of t would be the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine of t, and then the derivative of sine is cosine of t. Now, let's evaluate this at time 0. So r prime at 0 would be sine of 0 is 0, and cosine of 0 equals 1. So we have the velocity. So this equals v of t, the velocity vector. So let's draw this on the graph. So now think of this as a direction vector. R is a position vector. It's just a point on the graph. R prime is a direction vector. It's velocity. So we have the horizontal component 0. The vertical component is 1. So let's draw that. Or let's erase this pi over 4. We'll need that. So let's draw this in red. So right here we have the velocity vector 0, 1. Okay, right there. Actually, let's say v at 0 here. Okay. Now, that tells you that your object is moving in a counterclockwise direction, and at time 0, if let's say that it was like a roller coaster, and suddenly you jumped out of the roller coaster, you would go in that direction of the velocity vector if there is nothing causing you to move in that counterclockwise direction anymore. Okay, now if you were to recompute this velocity vector, for example, at pi over 2, your velocity vector would look like this. At pi over 4, at pi over 2, your velocity vector is like this. And you can see that velocity vector just keeps continuing in that counterclockwise. Now let's talk about acceleration. All right, let's pick a new color for acceleration. I'll do green. All right. Now, acceleration. We know acceleration is change in velocity, but it's more than that when you have more than one dimension. So, hold on. There, I meant to write acceleration. So acceleration is change in velocity. Okay, so there's 3 ways that velocity can change. If you're talking just one dimension, forwards and backwards, velocity can increase and velocity can decrease. But when you have 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions, a change in velocity can also be a change in direction. Okay, so even if the magnitude of the velocity doesn't change, if the direction changes, you still have acceleration. So let's go ahead and do the acceleration vector now. So r prime of t we know is negative sine cosine. So the acceleration vector is a function of time, which is the second derivative of r, which would be derivative of negative sine is negative cosine of t, and then the derivative of the y component, cosine, would be negative sine of t. Okay, so let's take a look at this when time is 0. So at time 0, we have derivative of cosine is 0, but there's a negative in front, so it's negative 1, and derivative sine is 0. Okay, so the acceleration vector is negative 1, 0, and that's a direction as well. And so let's draw that. So at time 0, the position is 1, 0, but the acceleration is pointing inwards. It's x is negative, the x component is -1. The y direction is 0. All right, now if you repeat this for other values, for example, if you plug in like pi over 4 into the acceleration function, you would get negative square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2 over 2. So what does that vector look like? Well, it's pointing inwards, like that. If you plug in pi over 2, you have cosine of pi over 2 is 0, and then negative sine pi over 2 is -1. So at pi over 2, your acceleration is pointing straight down. And so you can see that all your acceleration vectors are pointing inwards. And it actually makes sense mathematically because the second derivative is the exact opposite of the position. And so if your position is, say, down here, like negative square root of 2, negative square root of 2, then the acceleration is positive square root of 2, square root of 2. All right, now think of acceleration this way. Acceleration is proportional to force, because we know from Newton's second law of motion, force equals mass times acceleration in terms of vectors. The force vector is the mass, which we'll just assume to be constant for this, times the vector acceleration. So it's just a scalar multiple. And so, in other words, the direction of the force is the same as the direction of the acceleration. So think of it like there's some force. So the object is moving in this counterclockwise position, but there's some force that's pulling the object inwards, like this and like this and like this. You could think of it like if it's a planet orbiting the sun, it's the force of gravity that's pulling it inwards. Or like if you have a bucket and you're spinning the bucket and it's attached to a rope, and there's water in the bucket, but the water doesn't spill out. It's similar to that. It's not exactly the same as that, but it's similar to that. So that there's some force. You can think of the force as like pushing that velocity vector. It's like pushing it in, and so on. And so even though the velocity itself, the magnitude is always the same, but the direction is changing, so the acceleration is non-zero. And that's it for this video.